Yeah, good morning, everybody. So my name is Shawn Edwards. You saw that in the registration link. And I worked with Lucia last year for the Childhood Potential Conference. And we've stayed in touch. I'm excited to be able to provide a parenting course for her that she's selling through her website. So just a little bit about me. I have been a Montessori educator, first a teacher, and now an administrator and head of school. But I've been in Montessori actually 33 years. So the last 16 years or the last 15 years I've been a head of school. And then prior to that, I was a teacher, did some mid-level management work. And then at some point in my career, actually about 23 years ago, because it was when my youngest was a baby, and he's now 23. I met Jane Nelson, and she came to our school. I was working at the Post Oak School at that time, and she came to our school to do a positive discipline classroom management training. And then I stayed closely connected to that organization and used the tools in my classroom when I was teaching, and then became a positive discipline educator for the classroom, certified educator. And then I went on to continue working with that organization and continue with their trainings. And I became a positive discipline trainer. So now I am a trainer for the organization, and many other principles and ideals fit really closely with the Montessori philosophy. So it's very easy and natural to implement with any school, but particularly if you already have some understanding of Montessori and respect for the child, and helping it, understanding and recognizing the child's potential and helping them to move towards that. So I have been a trainer for many years, and then in 2017, I finished a master's degree in transformational leadership and coaching. And that program was also very Adlerian based, as is positive discipline. So those three disciplines, speak to each other with lots of common language. There's lots of synergy between the three disciplines. So I'm able to pull from all three buckets, Montessori, positive discipline, and coaching and leadership, to create seminars and workshops and, group workshops and trainings for mostly educators and parents, although I do some private emergence coaching and life coaching as well. And so I'm able to pull from all of these different disciplines to help support people. And I also offer positive discipline in the classroom certification training, so that people can get their positive discipline certification to be educators, and also positive discipline parenting certification. So if you're ever interested in becoming a parenting, a positive discipline educator for parents, I offer those certification courses as well. So, and I'm a head of school. So currently I'm a head of school at Mariposa Montessori School in South Austin, Texas. I have 3 children. They are now grown. My oldest is 30, and then I have a 25 and a 23-year-old, and they all went through the Montessori program. And then I have 2 grandbabies as well. So so I stay really busy. I also work for the Center for Guided Montessori Studies, and I love that. I'm an instructional guide and a practicum advisor. So I'm able to really coach and help leaders become strong leaders. And then I'm able to do some one-on-one coaching through that organization as well. And this is my side business, Tool House, how-to tools for parents and schools. I have a Facebook page, and I also have a website, which is kind of under construction right now, so it's not super interesting, but it will be in the next couple months. That's a little bit or a lot about me. So thank you for joining. I'm excited to share with you a little bit about what the course entails, and then also maybe answer some specific questions that you have with the focus of the course in mind. So you will understand a little bit about the tone and the culture of the program. And welcome.
Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you, Lucy.
Intro. Thanks. I would like to tell to everyone that if you have some specific questions, you can either raise your hand. There's this little hand in your options, that you can use, or you can actually write the question in the chat. So so everyone could see it. So yeah, also me and Shawn and Layla and Paulina, who are around here from our team, so we can everyone see it and we can get the question answered. And I will start with some of the questions that some of you have written while registering for the live talk. And the first one, let me check. The first question that Shawn has chosen is, how can you handle stubbornness in toddlers and in ages 3 to 6 years without raising your voice and without spanking? Can children of different age, ranging 0 to 3 and 3 to 6 years, be successfully Montessori homeschooled by a mother without assistant, and how? And how soon should I worry that my toddler is having delayed speech?
Okay. So the first question is about tantrums.
Yes.
And how to work with toddlers without raising your voice. So toddlers are going to throw tantrums. And it is part of their separation from parents and developing their independence from you as mom and dad and becoming their own person. And because they're not very articulate yet and not as verbal as they would like to be, there's a lot going on in their brains, but they're not always able to express how they're feeling. So you will have toddlers. So there's a tantrum. So there are two reasons for the tantrums. One is, like I said, they're trying to develop some independence from you as a parent, and fostering independence is really important in toddlers because it helps them feel capable. So we want to foster that independence and not squash their desire to become independent. But tantrums are hard. The second reason for tantrums is a need for power and a little bit of control. So one of the things that you would learn in the course, if you were to take the course, is how to respond to a tantrum as opposed to reacting. So what do we normally do when somebody's throwing a tantrum, whether they're toddlers or adolescents or even adults? We tend to engage in a power struggle and maybe raise our voice or yell, just as you said in the question that was raised. And so what you will learn in the course is how to respond to that behavior. So recognizing the need for power means that that child is rebelling because maybe they want a little bit more control. So looking at the situation, when is the tantrum happening? Is it happening at bath time? Is it happening at bedtime, or at a certain transition time? And then offering some choices around that. So if it, for example, has to do with bedtime, you could say, oh, it's getting close to bedtime. Would you like to read a book before bath time or after bath time? And so when you're offering a little bit of option and power to the toddler, that's what they're seeking. So looking for ways to give them some choices. If it has to do with dressing, would you like to, wear this outfit or this outfit, or let's put your clothes out before we go to bed. And so you'll learn some ways to encourage and empower instead of react in the course. And one of the needs behind the behavior is power. So anytime somebody's charging you or triggering you or acting in ways that are making you feel uncomfortable, there is a need behind the behavior. So what you're going to learn in this course is how to be a detective and figure out what the need is behind the behavior. And power is one need. So I won't disclose all the ways that you can respond to a tantrum, but just know that that is a signal that the child is looking for a little bit more control and power, maybe around a situation or maybe in life in general. So what was the second question, Lucy? Oh, I can't hear you.
Sorry.
That's okay.
The second question was if children of different ages can be successfully Montessori homeschooled by a mother without an assistant.
Without an assistant?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so depending upon the span of ages, I would say yes. One of the things that I feel was detrimental to public education was when we went from the one room schoolhouse to first grade, second grade, third grade, because you're taking away that opportunity for the a community and for children to have that family feel. But also, there's the most common thing between you and I is not our age, right? And children are the same. So they may be really gifted in math or they may be really gifted in language. And so you're a first grade student may be able to work really effectively with a fourth grade student in math because that's his strength. The same with language. So yeah, I mean, definitely it's very doable. I've taught classrooms from ages 6 to 12 with the whole range in one classroom. So it is very doable. And then also what happens is the older children are developing leadership skills and they're able to help to coach and to mentor. And the younger ones are aspiring to be able to do some of those leadership strategies and skills that they observe from the older children. So there's a lot of mentoring going on from the older children to the younger children, and that also helps them feel capable. So I think it's very doable to homeschool a variety of different ages in your home, and you're also continually fostering independence. That's one of the cornerstones of Montessori. And as the children and empowering them to assume some responsibility over their own education. And so as they get older, they continue that love of learning and that excitement about learning, and they become strong individuals who have really great self-management and self-regulation skills.